Today's podcast is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo.
Apply today and become a member and immediately be connected with advertisers that fit your audience. That's podgo.co at podgo.co.
And be sure to add our podcast in the How Did You Hear About Podgo section of the application.
Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home and who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 295. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man? Hey, wait, you sure you're Dave Rotino?
I am Dave Rotino.
You got taken over by like the aliens in like the Body Snatchers movies.
I was just going to mention, there's a reason you haven't heard us for the last couple of weeks. I have been sick. Not extremely sick, just an extended sickness. So I'm kind of on the mend right now.
Did you get bit by a zombie? Are you going to turn into a zombie?
I do not have COVID. I did not get bit by a zombie, so I'm all good there. But I apologize for the voice. This is the best I've sounded in so many weeks. So it is
trying to get your Barry White on.
That's right.
Barry White on.
That's right. Baby.
Dr. Love is in the house. He's trying to get his deep voice on.
Dr. Love is definitely in the house.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little something about video games and ladies.
Well, listen, you were sick for a while, and I'm glad you're starting to feel better.
Thank you.
That's good. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had some issues going on. Like I had a passing in the family that that was sudden, that happened.
Sorry to hear.
So, thank you. Like it's been a rough couple of weeks for us, but we're hanging in there, and I'm not gonna lie, not doing a show, I had all this pent up stuff I wanted to talk about, like video games that no one else to talk to. Right.
Yeah, we chat all the time, but when I'm like deep in the sickness, it's hard to carry on a conversation sometimes. So you're right. This does definitely feel good. There's definitely a lot of stuff that's come out in the last couple of weeks. So, definitely excited to talk about all that.
Well, with that said, I haven't said this in a while and it feels good to say, we have an awesome show this week. All right. We're going to talk everything about the Game Awards 2021. Right, we're going to go over the nominees in a couple of categories and who we think might or should win. Right, and we're also going to talk about Black Friday sales because guess what? When this show goes live, it will be the week of Thanksgiving.
Oh my God, one of the best holidays of the year. So good.
But before we get into any of that, let's begin with a big happy birthday or happy anniversary to the Xbox and the GameCube.
That's right.
20
That's right.
years.
2001, baby. November 15th, 2001 for the Xbox. And I want to say the GameCube was maybe a week before or a week after. They were literally right around that time. And I don't know about you, but I definitely had some great memories. I remember...
November 18th.
Oh, November 18th. 3 days. 3 days. Okay. Yeah. That's crazy. But I remember getting a pre-order. I pre-ordered it from Electronics Boutique, which was... I wasn't working there at the time. I was in college at the time. But yeah, throwback.
Electronic Boutique.
Yeah, before it was EB Games and before it was bought out by GameStop. I worked at the one in the Smith Haven Mall in the food court, and it was fantastic. It was a great team. Love those guys. And I went in to talk to my old boss, and I was like, "Hey, I want to pre-order the GameCube," and he was like, "All right, well, it's going to be $200. I think it was like $200 plus 3 games plus an additional third-party controller." That was how they were doing it. So I got
So
Tony Hawk 3.
Bundles.
That's
so
right.
They were doing bundles.
They
back
were
then,
doing
too.
bundles. Yeah, it kind of sucked.
Did you hate it? Did you hate it as much as you hate bundles now?
Yes. Well, maybe not as much, but I definitely did hate it. At least it was stuff that was useful. So I got Tony Hawk 3, I got Madden 2002, and I got Super
Madden.
Monkey Ball. Yes.
So you got Madden.
I did get Madden. Well,
even 20 years ago, they knew they had to package it with Madden.
I got it to well, you were able to pick 1 or 3 of the 6 launch games. And I got Madden so me and my brother could play. I got Tony Hawk because Tony Hawk's awesome. And I got Super Monkey Ball because I thought, or it looked like a really good game, and it turned out to be a fantastic game. So those were my 3 games. I think there was maybe a memory card in there too because you needed a memory card to save. And I still have it, I got this like cheap-ass third-party controller. It wasn't an official Nintendo controller. It was like a Mad Catz or one of those kind of knockoff ones, and it was like not great. But I love my damn GameCube. It was fantastic, great little system. I don't have that GameCube anymore. I still have the controller, but I don't have that GameCube anymore. I have another black GameCube.
Well, what about the Xbox? Got any good Xbox memories from back in the day?
Yes. So when I went back home, I got my job back at Electronics Boutique again, and I bought an Xbox specifically for Jet Set Radio Future because I love that series. I loved it on Dreamcast, and Dreamcast was no more at this point, and all of Sega's.
This is the Dreamcast too.
That's right.
Xbox.
That's right. So Sega, Microsoft were really close. So you had Panzer Dragoon and Toe Jam and Earl and Sega GT and Jet Set Radio Future and a bunch of other games.
Shenmue 2?
That's right. Shenmue 2. Yeah. And Jet Set Radio Future, loved it. I thought it was a great reimagining of the first game. That's exactly why I bought it. And it's funny because I was the only one of the employees who had an Xbox. And my boss went to a company conference, and he came back with a bunch of stuff. And because I was the only person who had an Xbox, right, he didn't know what to do with the Xbox stuff, which was a copy of Unreal Championship and a subscription to Xbox Live with the headset before Xbox Live launched. It was a free year subscription to Xbox Live. And I asked my boss, I said, Leo, hey, can I have the Xbox Live and the Unreal Championship? Nobody else has an Xbox. Can I have it? Right? And so it was like, I wouldn't be fighting anybody for it. No one's going to care about it. Everyone was kind of shitting on the Xbox like it was just a glorified computer with a hard drive. Nobody was taking it seriously. And I was like, oh, well, I like Jet Set Radio. There's some cool stuff on there. It's got the built-in modem, and the online stuff was like right around the corner. So I got it, and it took a lot of convincing because my boss was like, well, I was just going to throw it in the garbage, but I suppose you could have it.
Make any sense? I think he was just playing with you. He was always going to give it to you. He
No,
wasn't throwing it in the garbage.
no,
That doesn't make any sense.
No. I mean, he was definitely playing around, but that's just kind of how he was. He was like, all right, fine, you can have it. So, yeah, man. So, I mean, those are like launch memories, right? Well, I guess the Xbox I got in 2002, so I got it like I don't know, mid 2002, maybe April or May, like right before the Xbox Live launched. Is when I got my console, so it was a little bit after. But yeah, do you have any memories from what was that, the seventh generation? Is that right? Sixth generation?
Seventh. Oh yeah, six. Yeah, because seventh was PS3 and Xbox 360.
That's right. So any
And
good
then eighth
memories
was
from the sixth
PS4,
generation?
and then PS5 is the 9. Okay,
That's right.
so at this point, I'm not really a gamer anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like I sort of was after the N64, right? I knew about the Dreamcast, but I wasn't into the Dreamcast, and I sort of, I'm getting older. I'm fresh out of high school. I'm starting. My money is limited because I don't really have a job. So, video games or clothes, right? So that's like
You gotta go video games, Dan.
I should have went video games, but no, I went clothes.
You can play games naked. That's all I'm saying. You can play games naked.
Should have went
no
clothes.
one will care.
I went more clothes, because because you can't try to talk to the ladies butt naked. They'll run from you.
You would end up in jail.
Yeah, yes.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
So I chose clothes. I wasn't really a gamer, but I knew some things that were going on. Like I wasn't in the know.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, my aunt, I bought a house eventually. Right. We're not talking launch, by the way. We're talking a little bit later, a couple of years after launch.
Sure.
And my aunt and her son, sort of lived with me, right, in another part of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And my cousin had the OG Xbox.
Nice.
And a bunch of games. And that was when I first played Halo. And I was like, this is amazing. I'm sitting on the floor because, kids, back in those days, the controllers were wired to the system.
That's right.
And I'm sitting on the floor playing Halo, and I thought Halo was amazing. I was like, Halo is like the most amazing game I ever played.
Halo was the shit, man. Halo was the shit.
I loved playing the original Xbox games. And every now and then I would pick him up a game. Like if he asked me, hey, like, can you get me a game here and there? Like, and I would get him some games and play it. And I would get games that I knew, like Sonic, right? Like, I would get the Sonic collection and stuff and play it on. I love Sonic. I still have it downstairs in a box somewhere, but I can play it on the next generation hardware. So I had no problem with the Duke controller. Because I have big hands. I'm a basketball player. Like, my hands are big. So I had no problem with the controller. I didn't have any friends that were gamers to talk to. So I didn't know the Duke controller, the size was an issue for people, right? I didn't even know there was another controller, the S controller. I didn't know anything about that.
The S controller came out a little bit later, yeah. Yeah, the model that I got came with the S controller, and I was so happy. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because I spent a lot of time playing Halo with the Duke controller, and I got used to it. But it's tough.
All right. Tough. Well, at this time, NES controller is out. Because this is not launch, and he's like, I want to buy S controller. I have no idea what that means. And he's like, the controller is fine, no biggie. I thought I loved the commercials because it brought me back the Xbox commercials back in the day. Brought me back to the Sega versus Nintendo type of thing, right? I was always a PlayStation. I was a play because I loved my PS1. I wanted, I had a PS2 mostly to play DVDs, but I had PS2 with Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball Z, Budokai 1 and 2, right? So I love the fighting games. I love the racing games. So I love my I love my PS2. The Xbox I have fond memories of. Didn't have a Gamecube. I have no I have no nostalgia for the GameCube. I like the GameCube now as an adult, as a collector, and I wish I would have known the GameCube back then. But I have no memories of the GameCube.
Oh man,
I could talk about.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. It was a good time. Tiny little console, only $200. It was $100 less than the PlayStation, $100 less than the Xbox, right? And it had the 4 controller ports on there. It was $200.
How much was that? The Xbox was $300.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Really, I didn't know. I didn't.
Well,
again,
it had.
I bought the PS2 Slim.
Right.
So I had the Slim version.
That's when it had the discount, I think, by that point. But
yeah. And
the Xbox.
And I didn't buy the Xbox. My cousin had the Xbox.
Right. So the Xbox came with an 8 gig hard drive, and it came with a built-in Ethernet adapter in there. So that kind of added to some of the expense, as well as a bunch of off-the-shelf PC parts. Right. It was the most powerful console at that time, so you were definitely paying for it, and not to mention that Microsoft, I believe, had to pay Sony for like DVD licensing rights or whatever, or something like that. So there was some cost that was factored into the system because of the licensing from Sony. So that kind of raised the price up a little bit. I may be misremembering the facts, but I think there was some of that going on. So
I do have the dongle that goes in.
Oh, for the little remote control. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's funny how you now shit on their OG Xbox.
Yep.
You really do. I love the original Xbox. I still love the original Xbox.
Well,
I think
it had some issues. I think
the original Xbox is the second most underrated console of all time.
Let's not bring this up again. But I know.
Behind the Saturn. The Saturn is number one. Most underrated console of all time. The original Xbox, and right behind that, the Wii U.
I mean,
top 3.
I will say this. I'll say 2 things. The controller was god-awful. I'm sorry. The Duke controller was terrible. And it had the 2 ports on the back and a giant jewel in the middle for no reason. But they did kick the door open. They continued what the Dreamcast started with the online connectivity that was built into every system, right? They went with broadband out of the gate, and they were really forward-thinking with it, right? It was a console that could do upwards of 1080i out of the box, so it had high-definition capability, which was awesome. And the online service was the best at the time, and they kept reiterating on it. Well, by the time he got to the 360, it was even better. And by the time he got to the Xbox One, it was king. You know, it was the best. It's the best online service around in terms of connectivity, in terms of the UI, the UX. I mean, just they did everything right, I think, with that. And they're now, in my eyes, I think they're they're kind of the gold standard of how to do online gaming, right? So I will 100% give Microsoft that.
I think you underrate Xbox exclusive games for the original Xbox, right?
There were some.
It's more than a Halo machine. They
It took them a while to get there, though.
Well, you know, it took the PS3 a while to get to the point that, you know, where they sort of, you know, kind of won the generation, but it doesn't feel like it because, you know, in numbers.
In overall sales numbers by the end of the generation,
Yeah, right? So it took PS3 a while to get there, but at least they got there. And I think the OG Xbox, I think games and franchises on there, you sort of overlook or underrate. And I think, you know, I think if you take another look, you would feel a little bit differently about it.
I trust me, I have. Right? I mean, it's you know, like you did get Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden or however you want to say it. Sure, you got the continuation of the Dead or Alive series, which kind of continued
all
on
the
Xbox.
Sega games, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2.
Yeah, right. You did have that. They basically bought BioWare. but
I know you aren't a Fable fan per se, and that's fine. But people love Fable.
Hate it.
People, okay, but people love you. You can't deny that people love Fable.
People do.
Sure. People do. It has this fan base.
They're wrong, but you're right. You're right.
They have their fan base. It's their again, the Sega games, the Shenmues, the Jet Set Radios. Okay, so it was the Dreamcast 2 in that way, right? Yeah. Jade Empire, BioWare, right?
Another BioWare game, great. Yeah.
Right? Elder Scrolls, right? Like that was the best place to play Elder Scrolls 3.
Well, no. PC was the best place to play it. There was a lot of bugs. It was the only place to play it on console.
Well, there you go.
The only place.
There you go. Console. There you go. The Oddworld games, right? The Oddworld games, Stranger's Wrath, and I can't think of the other one off the top of my head.
Right.
That was Project Gotham Racing, right? I think that was the Sega game too, right?
It started off, I think, on Sega as Metropolis Street Racer, maybe. Yeah, I think that was the original one.
Chronicles of Riddick,
Chronicles of Riddick was fantastic. The Escape from Butcher Bay. Amazing. Yeah, that was actually a really good game. So
yeah, see, right? Dead or Alive, the fighting games from Dead or Alive, the volleyball games from Dead or Alive,
right? Yeah.
Okay, and I know you're gonna make fun of this, but it was a good game. Fusion Frenzy was a great game.
No, Fusion Frenzy was trash, Dan. It was
a great game. I'm sorry.
I went back to play that recently because it was one of the games.
I went back to.
It was one of the games they featured with the Series X backwards compatibility, and it was the first game I went back to try, and it's terrible. It does not hold up. It is firmly 2001 aesthetics where they want to be like the Matrix with the cool techno music and all the hip characters, and it's not even a second-rate Mario Kart. It's or Mario Party. It's a fourth-rate Mario Party.
Okay. For someone who doesn't like Fable, I can't take your opinion seriously. I'm sorry.
Go back and play it, man. You'll see. Go back and play it.
I have. Yeah, you know what? Blinks the Time Sweeper was okay.
Okay. We're not talking about okay. We're talking about bangers. 10 out of 10s. Come on.
You know what? It banged. It banged. Bang is a word I would use in a sentence to describe Blinks the Time Sweeper.
So I know we're trying to wax nostalgic on Xbox. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you all that. There were a lot of cool games on there. I owned just about every single one of those games that you mentioned. Actually, I think everything except for the volleyball games. I ended up owning originally back in the day and now have in my collection now. So happy 20th anniversary to Xbox. Happy 20th anniversary to Gamecube. You're almost old enough to drink. One more
year. Next year we'll talk about it. Yeah. So, all right. Hard to transition, but I have to talk about this. I really want to talk about this.
Oh my God. What is this?
This is amazing. I got to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home, the new trailer that just dropped the other day.
I thought we were going to get into some difficult conversation. You're like, no, Spider-Man. All right.
No. We got to talk about Spider-Man.
That's right.
The trailer dropped. I'm super hyped for the third Spider-Man game. I mean, movie. Talk about games.
Third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
Tom Holland, yes. He doesn't know if he wants to play Spider-Man again. Right? Like he says he can't play. He doesn't want to know if he wants to play Spider-Man over 30. I have no idea how old Tom Holland is.
I think if there's enough zeros on the paycheck, he'll say yes.
Well, I think he will play Spider-Man at least one or two more times, right? Because I think he's going to be. They said I haven't watched Venom 2, the Carnage, Venom and Carnage movie, but they did say there's something that links the Venom world with Spider-Man.
The VCU with the SCU, the Spider-Man universe.
Well, with the MCU, with Spider-Man, with Tom Holland, right?
Yeah.
I mean, spoilers for the first one. Vulture was he was in it. He was at the ending credits of the first Venom movie. So we know he's in the same universe as Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Right.
So I think he will be in the next Venom movie, right? Or they'll make a Spider-Man Venom movie, right? And I think he'll be another special guest appearance in another MCU movie at some point. And then maybe if there's like an big Avengers movie again, maybe he'll be in it. But
well,
I want to talk about.
They definitely have to like put a proper exit. If he's not going to do it anymore, like it's got to be queued up. It's got to be in the timeline, in the universe, and make sense. And everybody's got to be on board, like fans and like Kevin Feige have to be on board to say, all right, here's how we're going to do it. And everyone's going to be happy with it. And then that'll be that. And then Spider-Man will be out, which will be sad. But I want to talk about No Way Home trailer. It's amazing. The new No Way Home trailer, yeah.
The new one, yes. We know Doc Ock is in it.
Yep.
Right. And he says his name is Dr. Octavius Porter, and the kids start laughing like that's not really your name. Yeah. So don't know. It looks like he's in like a holding cell, right? Because he's not attacking them. Don't know if this is like, the first time he's the dimension sort of gap or come together, and this is the first time they're meeting him, and then he attacks them. Right. He says, "Oh, you're not the Peter Parker I know." All right. Like you're not Peter Parker.
Right.
So
that's
crazy.
Well, this all stems from Spider-Man saying, I want people to not remember Spider-Man and what Spider-Man, like he wants to disappear.
No. He doesn't want people to know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right. So he goes to Doctor Strange, right? Downtown New York. And he goes to his abode, and he's like, "Make it happen." And he's like, "Okay," very, very cavalier about it.
Yeah, I don't think this is the real Doctor Strange. It's either this is not the real Doctor Strange, or maybe Doctor Strange said, "No, we can't. Magic isn't. To make
it's not a toy. Yeah,
not a toy."
Right.
And they do something right. They maybe cast a spell that goes wrong because Doctor Strange.
Well, it definitely goes wrong.
Yeah, Doctor Strange casting a spell to make people not remember he's Peter Parker and it not go well doesn't seem like the real Doctor Strange would screw up, right? So maybe this isn't the real Doctor Strange, or they cast a spell on him. But he's like cracking jokes and stuff. He's not serious like he was in the movie in the Avengers movies, right? So
it's definitely a different tone for Doctor Strange, for sure.
So I'm starting to think this isn't the real him, or it is a spell against him, and then he's trying. It looks like, I guess, him and Spider-Man are fighting each other, and Doctor Strange, this is the only way we could fix this, and he's like, no, it has to be another way. What does that mean? Does he have to kill Spider-Man? I don't know, right? Or maybe he's a Doctor Strange in another dimension.
It's a possibility. Right. I threw the theory out that maybe it was a Kree in disguise that had some sort of power who could, because the Kree can kind of shapeshift into different people. So maybe that's it, because Spider-Man doesn't necessarily have the power to differentiate between a shapeshifter or doppelganger or whatever it is.
So Jamie Foxx is in the movie. He looks a lot better in this movie than he does.
Hey, he's a little bit less blue. It's a little bit less blue.
He's a little bit less blue.
Right. Right. The Sandman is back too.
The Sandman and Scorpion. Right. Scorpion is in it, right?
I'm assuming it's Thomas Hayden Church again. We just saw Sandman as the giant sand creature and not as the human form, but I can only assume that he's coming back for that. The Vulture, right? He was in it. Yeah.
Will we see Spider-Man Venom from the Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi movies, right? Will we see that Venom in there? And that
what's his name? Yeah. Topher Grace, yeah.
Will we see that?
The Green Goblin? The Green Goblin. What's his name as Green Goblin? Not his son, right? So it's the OG one, the father.
Yeah. I can't wait to see all the Spider-Mans team up, right? Because we know that's what's happening. Obviously, they can't show it because that's the big surprise.
Right. It wasn't in the trailer, but if you're gonna bring in all the villains and have this kind of multiverse mechanic or whatever that's going to be tied into the next Doctor Strange movie, yeah, you got to bring in Toby and you got to bring in Andrew Garfield. I mean, come on.
Andrew Garfield still has denied being in the movie.
Of course, because he's a pro. He's a pro.
He's denied
right?
being in the movie.
He's not like Mark Ruffalo. He's not like Mark Ruffalo, who breaks all the damn secrets when he goes on the late night shows. Andrew Garfield is stone-faced.
Yeah,
he's a pro, man.
He's stone-faced, even though he has no credits for for any other movies between the time of shooting.
That's right. That's right.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
He's keeping kayfabe alive. He's keeping kayfabe alive in wrestling, pro wrestling.
There you go.
By the way, as a side note, rest in peace. They're not dead, but rest in peace to all the wrestlers who just got let go. Right?
Oh shoot!
This recording, WWE just let go a whole bunch of wrestlers.
You were telling me
Austin,
about that. Yeah.
Austin Creed had to stop recording for G4 because he was shocked that some of his friends got let go.
Wow, that's crazy.
They were like, "Hey, do you want to talk about the wrestlers that let go?" And he's like, "I probably can't comment on that, so let's just talk about video games."
Right. Jeez.
So,
yeah.
Putting out there, it sucks for WWE 2K. That's supposed to be coming out in January. Trailer dropped a couple of days ago too. By the way,
there goes like half their roster, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. Like the DLC plans got changed, all because they keep, and it's budget cuts, even though they made record high profits in 2021. So, but Spider-Man, I'm thinking about renting out in the movie theater to go see it. I hope to have the whole theater have nothing but friends and family.
Let's do it, baby.
Thinking about that.
Let's do it. Hopefully, I won't be sick by the time you rent out.
You need to be better.
I know, right? I can't be passing around the Rona.
Yeah. Well, if you have it, if you have the zombie apocalypse.
I mean, I don't. I tested negative, so I'm good.
Okay. All right, let's get into some sad news. Looks like the delay bug. Some people have been bit with the delay bug. A lot of games have been delayed until 2022, right? Like God of War Ragnarok. And also Valve's Steam Deck was supposed to come out in December, and now it's coming out at some point in 2022. So just, again, chip shortages, have just plagued the industry. Well, all industries, even the car industry.
Every industry that uses technology, which is everything, right?
Yeah, the world. Cars are delayed, everything.
Video games, you name it.
Yeah,
crazy,
except for
man.
sneakers. Sneakers don't take microchips in it, but
some of them have some weird ass technology that can broadcast to your phone and give you metrics on your performance. I shit you not. I shit you not.
No, that's actually true. That's actually.
But they are not the norm. There's very few models that do that, but it's actually kind of cool.
But I got good news though, right? We always talk about games that have been delayed. We've never talked about games that get pushed up. PlayStation console exclusive Sifu, right? That fighting game where you die and you get older.
Right.
It's supposed to come. It was supposed to come, I think, sort of late spring, early summer of 2022. It is now coming sooner than expected in February.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. We're gonna have something to play in Christmas too. Oh, I love it.
The start of Christmas.
The start of Christmas too. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So Dave,
all right. Love it.
I haven't said this in 2 weeks, so it feels damn good to say this.
Oh, tell me, Dan.
As we always try to start the show, but epically fail. What have you been playing?
Oh, well, you know that. So we didn't necessarily mention.
I don't know actually.
We didn't necessarily mention, but the Xbox 20-year anniversary came with the kind of YouTube presentation celebrating 20 years of Xbox, and they said, "Oh, here's some more backwards compatibility games." That was great. The mic drop moment was Halo Infinite multiplayer
beta
is live today. Well, they're calling it beta.
Season 1 beta. Yeah.
They're calling it beta, but all of your progress and everything is carried over. So you're able to play the full multiplayer game as it would be on December 8th. And that's amazing. because I got to play the actual beta test twice, which was awesome. And now that the full version's out, there's 11 maps available, bunch of different game modes. It is awesome. If the single player is as good as the multiplayer, Game of the Year nomination. Possibly Game of the Year, period. It's very good.
I can live with that. I can live with that. We do have a good year. We're a good year. Right. Better than 2019.
That's right. That's right.
Better than 2019.
So there's a bunch of new weapons. There's a bunch of new power-ups. The grapple hook is awesome. The skewer's great. The new big weapon. And what you can customize in the multiplayer settings to make your own game types is amazing. You can mess with the gravity. You can mess with kind of the walk speed, the run speed, the types of weapons that are on the map. Lots of cool stuff. The only sad thing is that they are delaying some of the features. So single player co-op won't be ready to go at the gate, and Forge mode, where you can kind of just build your own levels and build your own all this cool custom stuff, won't be ready to go. Mid next year, I think, is when that's going to come out, which is a little bit sad. But otherwise it's fantastic. Thumbs up all the way. And then the other game I've been playing is the Streets of Rage 4 DLC, the Mr. X Nightmare, which is great.
How's that? I keep not pulling the trigger on that game because I'm waiting for a Black Friday sale.
Well, it's only $8. And
I want to get the physical.
Well, they don't have a physical for it yet.
No, they have the physical. No, they have the physical. You can get the whole game with the Mr. X.
Really?
For $40, $39.99.
Oh,
yes.
Well, okay.
So I've been holding out, waiting for a sale, Black Friday sale, where I can get it for at least $10 cheaper.
Well, you might as well wait because it's only a week away. If you've waited this long.
Well, everything is now. I mean, you can get all the early Black Friday sales, especially with GameStop. But how I haven't looked to see if this is part of it. But how is the Mr. X Nightmare
DLC?
You
get 3 new characters to play as. You can play as Estelle, the policewoman. You can play as Max, a new version of Max, like a modern version of Max from Streets of Rage 2. He was a boss in the 10th stage. And then you can also play as Shiva, who was a boss in the 4th or 5th stage. He was from Streets of Rage 3. He's in the new one, so you get to play as him. Brand new survival mode, which is awesome. And it's a little bit of a roguelike, because you do these you get dropped in an arena, you beat a bunch of monsters, and then you get random power-ups, and you keep going to see how long you can go. And then you can unlock alternate moves for all of the characters, which is awesome. And there's a boss rush mode, and I think training mode, maybe new too. It's only $8, and you get a minimum of 3 new characters. So yeah, 100% get it. 100% get it. I did not realize there was a physical. I would have picked up the complete version.
The physical came out back in September. So I've been holding out.
Okay.
Since I already owned the game on a PS4.
Well,
holding out.
Wait yourself a week.
Maybe get it on the Switch.
Pick it up for the Switch when it goes on sale. Yeah. Okay. So what have you been playing?
So this is built up 3 weeks of games I've been playing. So I picked up Zelda Game & Watch. Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's for the Zelda anniversary. Everybody has it. You can get it anywhere.
Oh
I literally was just at Target. They had 100 of them in the case. Yep. So you can get it. You can pick it up. It is not scarce as once thought. And you have, if I believe, Zelda 1, 2. You have the Game Boy, Link's Awakening. Yep. All right. You have the Japanese versions of those games as well. So
that's cool.
If you speak if you speak Japanese, you can play those games.
Or
you have the Game and Watch version,
yeah.
and then you have sort of like the watch version where it tells the time, and you still, you're in a dungeon and you're playing as Link, right?
Nice.
Killing enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's to me, it's no different than the Mario game, except for the Mario game only had one game on it, right? Well,
that's right.
One real Mario game.
Yeah.
And it had the Game & Watch game.
Yeah,
they should have had Mario 1, 2, and 3 on there.
Of course.
Right?
I mean, they got enough room on there. It's not a space issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think people are...
Well, good.
People are always upset over something, and people are upset that, like, the SNES game isn't on here, and I feel like they could have had that game on here, too.
Yeah. I think that's a little...
since the Game Boy version came out afterwards, after the SNES version came out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they could have had the SNES version on here because the Game Boy version was based on the SNES version. So they could have did that, and they should have did that.
Yeah.
Right?
But I mean, overall, I think it's a better package than the Mario one.
Well, it's a better package in the sense that it has more games, and the packaging has a little prompt so you can prop it up. Right,
it's got a little cardboard on it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you can use the cardboard to prop it up. So, I enjoyed it. I was playing Mario. I was playing Zelda 2 on there.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a good hour. The translations suck, so I didn't know what to do and where to go. I have no nostalgia.
That is a hard game
Zelda.
if you don't know what to do. It suffers from bad English. 100%. Yeah.
I've been playing Forza Horizon 5.
Oh yeah,
on the Series X.
Same.
So
it's amazing.
It is amazing. It looks so good. It's so beautiful. It's not as beautiful as Death Stranding, the best looking game I've ever seen in my life. I will say that. But Forza Horizon is like right there, top 3 best looking games I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It's not a racing game.
The intro is great.
Yeah. Intro's great. Yeah. It's not a racing game. It's a driving game. So you could drive anywhere for hours and accomplish nothing in the game.
You can just roam the countryside if you want. And it's so much fun to do that. You just go running over mountains and through valleys and over waterfalls.
Honestly, I'll be honest. I know we're going to talk about Black Friday later in the show, but there are only 3 physical games I need to pick up.
Need to
this
pick up.
year.
Okay.
Need.
All right, lay it down.
Need.
Or are you
Halo
going to save that
Infinite.
for later? Okay, Halo Infinite, yeah, of course.
No, Halo Infinite. Right. I got Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Got it. Good. Buy. GameStop had to buy 2 get 1 free.
That's right. They still do.
But I bought. So I need to get Halo Infinite, and I need to get Forza Horizon 5. The physical. It's $10 off right now. Or wait and see if I get another $5 off.
Okay.
Right now, and then I need to get Streets of Rage, Mr. X Nightmare.
Of course.
So those are the 3. Those are the 3 physicals I want to get this year. So I'm playing that. I've also been playing a game that the digital version has been out since September. Physical just came out. Just got it. I put maybe 3-4 hours into it, and that's Kena Bridge of Spirits, PS5 exclusive.
Okay.
Right? Really good game. Not great. I do have some issues mechanically, but those are nitpick issues for me, at least, I would say. Story-wise, it's okay. It's semi-open world. It's not really open world. They have, you can go here, here, and here, and they just throw waves of enemies at you. I like it. I don't love it. I like it. So,
so
when we finish,
it is not a, when you go into Cold Stone Creamery and you want to get the Kena Bridge of Spirits flavor, you're like, I'm just going to have a like it. It's not a gotta have
like it.
It's not
it's not a gotta have it.
You're going to do a small taste of it. Okay.
No, okay. I like it.
Like it's good, but it's not like you need to go back and have another 3 hours of that.
Put it this way. 2018 may be one of the best years in gaming of all time, right? We got Red Dead, we got God of War, we got Spider-Man. Kena Bridge of Spirits is the cherry that goes on top of this great, amazing Sunday.
Okay.
Right? It's not the banana. It's not the whipped cream. It's not the ice cream. It's not the sprinkles. It's the cherry.
So it's the worst part of the sundae? Comparatively, it's the worst part of the sundae. Yeah.
I really like Candy Bridge of Spirits. I think it's a great game. I don't know if it's Game of the Year material.
Well, okay.
It's right. Okay. It's right there. You know, like it. When you do your top 10, it's 11. You know.
Okay. When I do my top 10, it's 11. All right.
I'm just saying. When someone does their top 10 games of the year, it's number 11.
It's
right.
It's gonna get a nice runner-up consolation prize. Okay.
All right. So those are the games I've been playing.
Was it $60 or $40?
$50.
50. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. $49.99.
Okay.
I paid for it months ago, so I forgot I had it. So it came in the mail. All right, so those are the games I've been playing recently. And the games I've been playing over the last 2 weeks when we didn't do a show. I beat Call of Duty Vanguard. I got it on the Xbox Series X.
Okay.
Right? Gotta say, one of the best campaigns in recent years. I don't care.
Really?
What says, I think. Yes.
Wow, the internet says otherwise.
No, they're wrong. They're just like Dave earlier in the show. Dave said everybody's wrong about Fable. Everybody's wrong about Call of Duty.
I'm just going by sales numbers. I'm just going by NPD sales numbers.
No.
It is very underperforming.
Look at review scores. Look at review scores because most people play Call of Duty for the multiplayer, not the campaign, right? So scores,
sure, but
scores for the campaign are high. The campaign, fantastic.
So critical success, but commercial success, not so good.
Yeah, the story is amazing, and I know there is some, it's divisive, right? When you talk about diversity in Call of Duty games, right? Because they keep going back to the well of World War I, World War II, and back in those days. And I know one of the other Call of Duty campaigns had a female protagonist, and there were people, there were some people up in arms over that. They have a black person who's the leader of the squad and a prominent female protagonist in this, and they do it well to where it's believable for the time, right? Okay. And it's well done, and it's I think I'm trying not to spoil it because I know you haven't played it yet, right? And I know you're big on spoilers, so I'm trying to do my best not to spoil it. So.
Look, it's not for me, Dan. It's for the fans who haven't played the game yet. And we're waiting for Black Friday and the Christmas sales to get the game and then play it. So you got to give it time.
I would say this is a gotta get it, right? This is a gotta get it, especially if you get it on sale.
Okay.
And play the campaign.
Okay.
Definitely, you get to play as the 4 main characters of the team, and they all have something special to bring to the team, and then you have this final battle. Think it's a great game. Love the story. I loved using the L word. Love the story.
Good deal.
I also recently beat Samurai Jack Battle Through Time. Got it on a Switch from Limit Run. I think I ordered it last year and it came at some point this year. It's definitely one of those like PS2 style games. Here's an area. Here's endless amounts of enemies to come through, right? And it does with those style of games. We talk about the Xbox and sixth, seventh generation. What those style of games did was just throw enemies at you. Right, and then at the end of the game, it threw every enemy you ever saw at you. Right.
Oh,
and
sure. You get the big boss rush, the Mega Man style boss rush. Right.
Samurai Jack does the same thing. Right. Like you have to beat every person that comes at you. If you are a fan of the cartoon, it definitely ends the series.
Okay.
In a good way, a satisfying way, where I felt like, yeah, baby. Right, this is it, and for the most part, this is it because we don't know about the the cartoon did come back and it's over, right?
Right.
And there are no more plans for a Samurai Jack game that we know of. So for all intents and purposes, this is it for that. So I really enjoyed that. So I finished that, and I've been playing a lot of Nintendo Online expansion pack on the Switch.
Oh,
I got my Genesis.
To say I'm not envious.
I got my Genesis controller. All the Genesis games, awesome, and playing Musha. Right,
Musha's great. Yeah.
Thinking about spending the money to buy the actual physical for the holiday season as a gift to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to give a gamer grief to the N64 version, not for what you may think. I personally didn't. I'm not saying there is no lag. I'm saying I didn't notice it. It just seemed like an old game.
There's a lot of lag.
No, I didn't see any lag. I didn't notice
a lot of lag.
But I did notice one thing. I did notice one thing. There is no rewind feature. There's no rewind feature. Let me say that again. Everything. NES, SNES, Genesis, you can rewind. There is no rewind feature in the N64, which is the reason I even paid the money for this.
I know. You should have looked that up ahead of time. You just assumed. You can't assume, especially with Nintendo, and especially with their online offerings.
Why is there no rewind feature in this?
Well, why is it $50?
Because
why
they
is
need the
there
licensing
lag?
for Sega.
Why is it inferior?
I don't even care about the lag.
Inferior than the Wii versions and the Wii U versions?
Listen.
Why are there better emulators online that you can just play the game with?
The Home Alone face. I have the Home Alone face. Why is there no rewind feature?
Because they have baked it, Dan. They have baked it.
It's the whole reason why I bought this. And now I got to wait to 2020 to get an N64 controller.
Well, 2020.
I mean, 2022. 2022. See, I'm so discombobulated. I'm so discombobulated because there's no rewind feature. I don't know what year it is.
Wow.
I don't know what year it is.
All right. Well, I think it's only fair. If you have a gamer grief, I have a gamer grief. It's not really a gamer grief. It's more of a putting a company on blast, which I guess is also a gamer grief. I'm getting all worked up right now. But Rockstar Games...
I don't know what year it is, and you turn it into a zombie before my own eyes.
Well, look. Rockstar Games, right, who takes forever and a day to put out new games, they screwed the pooch, Dan. The GTA Definitive Edition, right?
Oh, that's...
The rumor that we were talking about for the longest, that we knew was coming out, finally came out. Came out during the interim, and it's terrible. All right? Now, it would be okay. Well, it would be kind of okay if they put it out and it was terrible and that was the end of it. And they said, look, we're sorry, we'll fix it or whatever. We'll put some patches out there. Excuse me. The issue...
I think the issue is they're not. I mean, they took down the older versions of the games. You can't buy those anymore, right? The original versions of those games on the eShops. You can't buy those. And
that is the problem. If you load up the Rockstar Games launcher, if you load up Steam, you can't get the games anymore. The games were $10 a piece. You could buy them piecemeal. You could do what you want with them. You could mod them and all of that. But they went after all the modders. They basically took all that down. You can't get the original versions anymore unless you already own them or you have them on, PlayStation or Xbox or whatever it is. You can play the old versions. But the fact that they screwed the pooch and made this version terrible, it has a bunch of visual glitches. It has a bunch of game-breaking bugs in there. It's just a bad experience all around. If they left both of those options there, if you could pay $10 and just get GTA 3, 4, or 3 Vice City or San Andreas, and you could get the new version if you wanted to for whatever reason, I would be more okay with it. But the fact that they took it down and replaced it with an inferior version, it's a cash grab. There was no reason for them to push this out early. It needed to have more time in the oven. And yeah.
They could have put this out in the spring, right?
Yeah.
When it worked actually better.
Yeah.
When it was better. There was no reason to put it out.
it wasn't like it was
WWE
hard to play. Like you could get it currently, and it had a bunch of mods
2K
and whatever.
is coming out like in January, February. This game could have came out like in March.
That's exactly right.
I have no issues.
That's exactly right. Oh,
yeah,
so,
I feel
very
you.
upset.
I feel
Very
you.
upset.
Listen. If I had to talk about the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition, which isn't really the Definitive Edition, I would probably coughing my brains out too.
No,
I would be
that's
coughing
right.
my brains out
Thank
too
you.
and turn into a zombie eating brains. Right?
It's getting me all worked up. It's getting me all worked up.
I feel you. And with that said, why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back. Let's get into the top gaming news of the last 3 weeks. And we have to start with our lead story. We have the Game Awards. Nominations officially been revealed, and you can vote now. If you go to thegameawards.com, which I am, and I want to go through some of these nominees and actually vote live on the show. So without any further ado, let's just jump into it. I'm going to skip Best Esports Event.
Are you?
I'll be honest,
that's the one I thought you were going to vote live on, Dan. Come on.
I can't even tell you one esports live event to even vote. Best esports coach, best esports team, and best esports athlete. I'm going to just forego because I have no idea.
I'm upset, Dan. You're not giving the fans what they want.
But you know what I know what Dave wants. Dave wants to talk about the most anticipated game: Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and Starfield. Which game
That's a solid list.
Is the most anticipated game going forward?
I mean, it's either God of War or Breath of the Wild too. I'm gonna vote for Breath of the Wild too. I mean, you have to. It was a revitalization of the franchise that was going downhill, and they really took it back to its roots. So I am curious, and I think you are too, to see what they're going to do with part 2. So, all right.
So next, we got. Let's see here. You know what? Let's go with best sports racing game. We got F1 2021. We got FIFA 2022. Forza Horizon 5. Hot Wheels Unleashed, underrated game, highly reviewed. And Riders Republic, which I will play when I get it for a quarter of the price on Black Friday. And I'm gonna vote live for Forza Horizon 5.
I mean, Forza's gonna win. I mean, there's no question. Forza's amazing.
Forza is amazing. We did just get to talking about it.
That's right.
I would say that's the game I would get. This is a category that I love because it's a category that Nintendo usually always wins, and it's best family game.
Oh, yeah.
We have It Takes Two, Mario Party Superstars, new Pokemon Snap, which is the second game in the franchise. Now it's a franchise because it's the second game. Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, and WarioWare Get It Together. What do you think? Who do you think should win?
I mean, I don't know if I've said it on the show multiple times. I've said it at least once, probably twice, and now it's at least going to be a third. It Takes Two needs the sweep. I'm sorry. It is an amazing experience. That's my pick. I don't know about you. I'm not trying to dictate.
It's an amazing experience, but I just don't know if it's like the best family game. You gotta keep in context the category it's going for. Yeah. I don't know if it's the best family game.
You can play with your kids.
Yeah. We had some issues where you would go off into the distance, and I'm like, Dave, let's go, and then I would do something we got on each other's nerves a little bit, right?
That's the fun part.
Game.
You can go and experience the world how you want and do all these cool little things that
I'm
part of the main game.
I'm gonna vote for WarioWare. Get it together.
Okay.
Little mini games.
Listen. These are the Dan Robinson picks, not the Dave Rotino picks. So, all right.
It should be the Dave Rotino picks. So
you're entitled to
be right. I'm entitled.
You're entitled to your own picks.
I'm entitled to be right.
You're entitled to your own picks.
So let's go with the best fighting game. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of good fighting games that came out. Right?
Well, there wasn't a lot of games. There wasn't a lot of fighting games that came out this year.
Melty Blood type Lumina. Mm-hmm. I never even heard of that game. Mm-hmm. Virtual Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown that came on PS5.
Yeah, free to play.
Free to play. Dave's favorite Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl.
Oh yeah, that one.
Demon Slayer. Right? Mm-hmm. And Guilty Gear Strive. I'm going to go with Guilty Gear Strive, a game that Dave put me on, and it is gorgeous. It is beautiful. And it's insane, man.
Game. It's insane. After they made the move to 3D, which I was a little kind of like worry about because the 2D animation was just gorgeous. They killed it, and the latest iteration is, it's bananas. It's bananas.
All right, so this is a game, this is a category that's had some controversy. Lots of controversy. Best role-playing game. Tales of Arise. Shin Megami Tensei 5 just came out.
Right.
Scarlet Nexus, thought it was a great game.
Yeah.
I've been playing it on the PS5.
I was about it.
Monster Hunter Rise. And Cyberpunk 2077. Now remember, Cyberpunk did come out last year, but it came out at the end of last year, so it didn't make the award season for last year. So Game Awards, it will make it now. Best RPG, right?
So we definitely talked about this off the mics beforehand, and I had posited that the reason Cyberpunk is on this list is because they had a whole entire year to patch this game, and I think they're grading it on the game that it is now and not the game that it was back in December. And I think that's unfair. I think that's unfair.
Well, I mean, again, it's a lot of times, a lot of games get review updates when a patch comes out. Like people always, IGN is famous for giving a review update. So if a patch comes out that makes the game better, they will update their previous review, right?
Sure, but that's not always the case.
So Cyberpunk, the game you buy now, is not the same game you bought last year, technically. So, it's not.
I
do understand. No. I do understand why they did it this way, and Cyberpunk is a game that was sort of super hyped. It was that game, right? That Red Dead level of expectation or hype.
Yeah. It was supposed to be like the next sliced bread, for sure. And it missed that mark. It still missed that mark.
The Witcher in the future.
Yeah, I mean, they still have features that were promised that aren't in the game, so they have yet to fulfill on that.
It's not that but it's not like it's DLC that made the game better. They fixed the game and added features.
No, but I mean, I think it's unfair because if a game comes out right before the Game Awards, you would judge it on what it is at the time, You're going to have a day one patch. Sure, you're going to have a day one patch to fix things and whatever else. And I guess that factors into it. But when you have a whole entire year to patch your game up, it's like, what if Cyberpunk 2077 made the cutoff for last year's Game Awards? Would it be in the mix? That's the question.
Most likely only in maybe certain categories like visually or something like that. It wouldn't make best RPG.
No, because it was an incomplete game. Yeah. So I don't think it's gonna win. I hope it doesn't win. Because they.
You know what? Just for that, best RPG of 2021.
Oh, that's it. That's it. This is the vote that puts it over.
I'm voting. I'm voting.
I honestly think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Scarlet Nexus or Shin Megami Tensei.
I think it's going to be Shin Megami Tensei 5. It's people are going to have short memories. It just came out, and people are loving the game.
Well, that goes. Yeah, I mean that goes a long way too, right? You know, it's the same thing with the Oscars. Like, it's why a bunch of movies come out towards the end of the year that are Oscar bait. Right? They specifically align them so that it's in people's heads. It's like, oh yeah, I just saw this movie. It was amazing. It's going to be nominated. You know, so
we got best action game, and I always love this category because it's like best action game, best, and then they have like best narrative and action adventure game. Mm-hmm. I always get these things mixed up, but the best action adventure game nominees are Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village. I don't look at Resident Evil Village as an action game personally, right? It has action in it, but it's more of a horror game, survival horror game, in my view. So for me, I gotta X that one out.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, eight was a little more actiony. Eight was more like 5 and 6 than it was 4. Because you did get a bunch more ammo and weapons towards the end of the game. But I hear what you're saying.
I think it's someone that throws enemies at you constantly, which Metroid and Resident Evil don't do. Mm-hmm. So for me, I gotta X both of those out, and it's between Psychonauts, Ratchet & Clank, and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. And this is a hard choice.
It's a tough category.
Really a hard choice. But I think I'm gonna give the nod to Ratchet & Clank.
Wow. Okay.
You have like 1,000,001 weapons. Mm-hmm. You have more weapons than you have to play the game like 2 or 3 times to even get most of those weapons. So I'm gonna go Ratchet & Clank. Slight edge over Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, which throws 1,000,000 enemies at you at one point.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Compared to Psychonauts, the action part isn't what I love about that game. It's the story. So I'm gonna go that. Okay. I'm gonna skip best VR AR because I haven't played any VR AR games. I'm gonna skip.
I don't think you played any VR games. Your headset's collecting dust, Dan.
It is. It has that community dust where it's dust on top of dust.
There you go. It's all kind of commingled.
I'm gonna skip mobile games because I definitely Mario Run game is like the game that I love for the last like 3-4 years. That's a mobile game. I'm gonna go with best performance next. Okay, and we got Erica. I'm sorry if I butcher people's names because I'm terrible at names, but we got Erica Mori from she plays Alex Chen in Life is Strange. Fantastic game. Come on, we got Esposito, Mr. Esposito.
Gus Fring, baby.
Yeah, he's in Far Cry 6, right?
Yep. As Anton
Jason
Castillo,
Kelly.
Right?
Yeah, Jason Kelly in Deathloop. Right?
Yep, he is.
Maggie Robertson.
He is the protagonist. Colt.
He is the protagonist. Maggie Robert, not Robin, Robertson, right? In Resident Evil Village.
She plays Lady Dimitrescu, who was the highlight. She was the highlight. She was the best villain.
And Asmori Asgu, right? Terrible name. Sorry to butcher that. She's also.
You're gonna have to take a mulligan on that name, yeah. She plays the. I don't want to say titular villain, but she is the one who's always on the. She's always on the walkie-talkie, antagonizing you throughout the game, and So she is awesome.
All deserving of best performance. But I've played all the games mentioned here, and I have to give it to Life is Strange. I have to give it to.
Wow, you're not going to give it to Jason Kelly?
No,
Dude,
I played Deathloop. Awesome.
I disagree.
Cult is awesome.
I disagree.
You know what? You haven't. That's because you haven't played Life is Strange 3. If you did, you would agree. I think she just edges him out. She did a fantastic performance. Fantastic performance as Alex Chen. I gotta give it up.
Right.
So I'm gonna switch gears a little bit and do something. I don't think we did it last year. Maybe we did it 2 years ago, and go best score of music in game.
Okay.
And we have The Artful Escape, a game I haven't played, so it's automatically disqualified for me.
I mean, you can't vote on it if you haven't played it.
Yeah, I haven't played it, so I don't know about the music and the scores in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Fantastic.
There you go. There's a nomination that's deserving for Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's got Run the Jewels in it among others. It's great.
Deathloop.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Near Replicant version 1.2389200000008 billion and
Close enough.
Close enough. I like Near Replicant 1.2, but I'm gonna X that out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna X out Artful Escape just by default because I haven't played it. I'm gonna X out Cyberpunk, and for me, it's between Deathloop and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to give it to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
I mean, come on.
That soundtrack is amazing. Amazing. It just is. It's just classics from the 80s. Come on, it's classics.
Yeah.
So have to give it to that. Let's go with best art direct. The Artful Escape, Deathloop, Kena Bridge of Spirits, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Again, haven't played the Artful Escape. Have to disqualify myself. Have to disqualify that from his category. Kena Bridge of Spirits, beautiful game. Do like the art direction. Don't think it's the best in this year in 2021. So it's between Deathloop, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and I have to give it to Psychonauts 2. Art direction, amazing.
Oh yeah, no, that game is fantastic, man. That game is fantastic. I mean, it's in Game of the Year nomination talks. I mean, it's 10 years out. Well, a little less than 10 years out from when the previous one came out. Long time coming. Yeah, amazing. So I'm with you.
At least there's 3 categories left. The top 3. Game of the Year, best game direction, and what we're going to do next is best narrative. And we have Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange, True Colors, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Psychonauts 2. I'm going to disqualify Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy for best narrative.
Why?
I thought it was a great story. It just went on too long.
Well,
I think
you're not disqualifying it. You're just saying it wasn't as tight as it could be.
I'm disqualifying it for my pick. But I'm going to vote live for my
pick.
Well,
you're not saying it's not deserving. You're saying it's not the best out of the.
It's not the best.
Yeah, okay.
It went too long. It went way too long.
Sure.
I think that's everyone's complaint. I think I was watching GameScoop, IGN's GameScoop, and Damon Hatfield said he's been playing it, and he just wish it would end. Like it just takes too. He likes the story. It just takes too long.
Got to cut a little bit of the. Yeah, sometimes too much is too much. All right.
Yeah. I'm going to disqualify Deathloop. I'm going to take that out too. I like the narrative. I do well for my pick. No,
I don't think that's fitting. Like saying you're going to disqualify Resident Evil 8 because you don't think it's an action game makes sense. It doesn't necessarily fit the category, but what's your issue with Deathloop? Because I think it's great so far.
I think it's a great game overall. For the game itself, but I'm not really playing it for the narrative. I'm not playing it for the narrative. I don't think the narrative is great. I think it's good.
Don't you want to figure out like what's going on and what the story is? And
there's nothing in the game that makes the story itself doesn't entice me to move forward with the game. It doesn't. Okay. It doesn't push me to go forward. The narrative doesn't push me. The gameplay pushes me to go forward, but not the narrative. I don't think the narrative is great. I think it's good. I think it's good, but I don't think it's great.
Wow. Harsh take.
So
okay.
That that leaves me with It Takes Two, Life is Strange, True Colors, and Psychonauts 2. And this is a hard choice between the three. To be honest, I love narrative in all three games, especially It Takes Two.
You can only choose one?
I can only choose one. I'm gonna X out Psychonauts 2, and it's gonna be between It Takes Two and Life is Strange. And Life is Strange, by definition, is a narrative-driven game because it is like a point-and-click adventure, right?
Right.
And I love that game. You know what? Screw it. Life is Strange, True Colors. I'm picking it.
Okay.
I'm picking it. That's the one I'm picking.
I mean,
I think the narrative.
You
I think
love
the narrative
that
in that
series.
game is amazing.
love
I love
that
this series. Part 2 left much to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm gonna say Life is Strange. Going with it. Best game direction. We got Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank. Direction is a hard one. I got to be honest. This is even worse than a narrative.
Okay.
I know the direction of Returnal. I know Ratchet and Clank, Psychonauts, Deathloop, It Takes Two. You know what? Screw it. Best game direction, I'll give it to It Takes Two.
Wow. Okay. It's a hard category, and I think all of these are really good. Now, granted, I haven't played Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart yet, but from what I've seen, it's got a pretty good game direction. And the other four, I'm pretty much over the moon about, and how the game kind of unravels. So yeah, okay.
And this is what everybody's been waiting for. Best game of the year.
Just game of the year. There's only one.
Best game of the year.
There's only one.
Best game of the year.
So this is the category. This is the category right now.
Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village.
Okay, so here's the question. How do you feel about the picks that are here?
I like Resident Evil. I don't love it. I think I would have had Forza Horizon 5 on here. I mean, first of all, if it's only 6, I would have replaced Resident Evil with Forza Horizon 5, right?
Okay.
I think if a racing game / driving game would win it, it would be this year, right? Because Forza Horizon 5 is amazing, and it's
pretty strong.
It's super strong. I would put that in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say the weakest of all these games, for me, and no, not Dave.
No, this is all you right now.
Would be Resident Evil and Deathloop. I would not. They are not winning in my eyes.
Wow. Because everyone's saying Deathloop is game of the year. You know, everyone's throwing it up there.
Everybody loves Deathloop, and I like Deathloop.
It's a unique experience, yeah.
It is a unique experience. I gotta be honest. I like it. I love It Takes Two. I do. Mm-hmm. Metroid Dread, I think, is great. Don't like the Emmys. I'm gonna say the Emmys take Metroid Dread out of the running for me.
Mm-hmm.
For me. So it's between It Takes Two, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And I'm gonna have to give the edge. Okay. So who do I think will win at the Game Awards? I think Deathloop will win at the Game Awards.
Yeah, okay.
Deathloop will take game of the year. But for me, my vote right now is going to Psychonauts 2.
Sure.
Psychonauts 2 deserves it.
Now, excuse me. I do have to say, strong category. Strong year. Very, very strong year. There are lots of games who didn't make the list. Returnal, Forza, among others. So I think it's a pretty strong year. I'm cool with all these picks. I'm with you on Resident Evil. I would probably take that out and put in Returnal. Even with Returnal in there, I would have to give it to It Takes Two.
I know you love that game. Sleeper hit. We played earlier this year.
Yeah, man. I mean, we played Haze Light's previous game, A Way Out. Before that, they made Brothers, and they're all in the same vein where you can do it solo and play as two characters, or you can do co-op like we did, and you get to take control of, in this case, the husband and wife, right? And just every single part of that game was different. There was always something new about it. And I think it had a strong narrative. I think it was really cool. You know, husband and wife are getting a divorce, and the kid gets really upset and it magically turns you into little dolls. And you basically, the way to break the spell is to fix your marriage. It's ingenious. It's ingenious.
I want to give it the Psychonauts 2 because it was just such an intriguing story, art direction, sound, and gameplay.
No, 100%.
Like, it's 100%. So funky. In the twist at the end to find out who, you know, this person really is. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to spoil it. Right? Yeah. Like, I just thought this game was so unique. But I think Deathloop is going to win it because all the critics love it.
Yeah, it's it's possible. It's possible.
That's the Game Awards nominations. Let's switch gears and let's talk about a follow-up to a story we did right before we took our 2-week hiatus. All the rumors are true, Dave. The WB MultiVersus fighting game is real. It was officially announced. And I know you always wanted to play Shaggy versus Batman, and now you can in a new free-to-play fighting game. That's just like Smash Brothers. That's more of a co-op game. No. Co-op Smash Brothers game.
No.
The MultiVersus.
Nothing is like Smash Brothers, which is why Smash Brothers is Smash Brothers. Nothing can compete. Brawlhalla can't compete. All right. This game definitely can't compete.
PlayStation All-Stars can complete. PlayStation All-Stars can compete. Get out of here.
PlayStation All-Stars had a lot of potential, but the problem with that game was it was all about the super moves. The only way to kill somebody was with the super move. That was the problem. That was the main problem with the gameplay in that game. With Smash Brothers, you can do the ultimate or the super moves, but you can kill them in a number of different ways. All right? There's always ways to knock them off the level. Yeah, I am completely unexcited about this. You shared the trailer, and I saw the graphics and all that. And it's like, okay, they're kind of making it work visually. Still uninterested. Because we found out free-to-play. It's going to be a free-to-play game, which means it's going to have microtransactions.
Yes.
Yep. Which means it's also going to be a mobile game, because how could you not? So
come on, you play on your Switch, I can play on my iPhone, and I'll play you with Batman. You play with Shaggy. Come on,
you're gonna be waiting a while for this connection to happen. I don't know, but like, it's got Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. Okay, that's weird because we didn't know that she was going to be in it.
You can play with because it was a leak. That's because it was a leak. Yeah. You can play Game of Thrones characters versus the DC, right? DC Comics characters versus Shaggy. Come on. This is great.
Listen. If I want to play
Gandalf. Where's Gandalf?
If I want to play DC characters, I can just play Injustice, which is amazing. There's many different versions.
That's more of a Mortal Kombat style game. This is DC characters in sort of the Smash Brothers universe.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
Come on. It's they really want you to play co-op because this is a multiplayer game where we're teaming up to face somebody else, and I have invincibility, or I have the rope, or whatever power I have I could share with you, right? Like They want us to play co-op.
I'm curious to see how that works, how that kind of like plays out, but I don't have a lot of faith. I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of faith.
Ye of little faith.
Well, I mean, find me a game that's comparable to Smash Brothers, and then
PlayStation
All-Stars. Have a little bit of faith.
PlayStation All-Stars.
It's not.
It's comparable. It is comparable.
It's not. The game was just race to get a super and then knock out your opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was flawed. They shouldn't have done that.
That's how I play Smash Brothers.
All right, so you're gonna get the physical version of this game. You're gonna get this when it comes out.
If they do release a physical, yes, I will be getting this.
Oh yeah, since it's a free to play game, maybe they won't. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be a download thing.
I'll buy it Black Friday next year.
There you go.
Comes out.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
All right,
that's so interesting.
I always wanted to play Shaggy versus Batman.
Well, there you go. Dream come true.
Dream.
It's the matchup of the millennium.
So let's take a more serious note, right? And we know about all of the Activision Blizzard lawsuit, right, with California, right? They have the civil lawsuit against them,
sure,
for unfair treatment of the employees. And we did touch on this, so this is more of a follow-up on a story we did a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
But the CEO Bobby Kotick, I sort of said, a CEO doesn't know everything that's going on with the company, because the CEO's job isn't to know everything that's going on in the company. He should, but his job is obviously to make more money for the shareholders.
Well, yeah, of course, because you can't be concerned with the day to day when you're the head of the company, right? That's why you install people to take care of the day to day, right?
Yeah, and I work essentially, in corporate America, where the head of the firm doesn't know he has no idea what I do for a living.
Right.
He just knows I make the firm money. Right.
Right. But he knows you're not messing up. That's the thing. He knows you're doing your job
because no one's telling him. Because no one's telling him if I do mess up.
Right.
Because it filters through sort of middle management, right? And I am sort of middle management myself.
Sure.
So he has no idea that the people below me, if they screw up, because it has to filter through me, where if I can fix it, I fix it. If I can't, then it goes to, sort of another upper level management, but not quite to him. So he has no idea unless it's a monumental screw up.
Right. So what we had said the last time was I was saying, because there was a lot of allegations and a lot of issues that were cropping up in the company. And I was saying that, if this is your company, you need to know about this stuff. If all this bad stuff is going down at your company, you should know about it. And you had posited that he doesn't have time to know all that stuff and whatnot, and you just assume he didn't know about it. Now
we have
what comes out from the Wall Street Journal is that Bobby Kotick knew about all of it, and he tried to sweep it under the rug, which is the worst thing. Which is the worst. Ignorance is bad, but not the worst thing.
If the reports are true, I will say, if the reports are true that he did know about the mistreatment of several women in the company, and by all accounts, it looks like it is true, but we don't know. But if it is true, then he should step down, because this, he tried to sweep it under the rug, and that's never a good thing, right?
Well, that's what
hide it. He tried to hide it from the shareholders.
Right. So a couple of the things that, sexual harassment, rape allegations, right, which is pretty bad, from high-ranking Blizzard Activision employees. So these were people in positions of power, right? It wasn't just like regular employees that were kind of having a tiff and all that. There was death threats made to a female assistant back in 2006, which, even if you're joking, you don't do that as a CEO. You just don't. All right? You can have a little bit of fun at the company and whatever else, but yeah, you don't go throwing around death threats even if you were joking about it. So that's just some of the baseline stuff that's kind of been alleged that Bobby Kotick either has done or is known about. This is all within his Wikipedia article. So, and they have citations for everything in there. So it's backed up. I want to give this guy the benefit of the doubt, but considering all the stuff that's come out about him, it's pretty much settled for me that this is a bad dude and he's got to go. Now, the employees, over 1,700 employees have signed a petition calling for the removal. So they want him out, right? The problem is the board of directors has his back. And a lot of the high-ranking people at the company are people that he installed. So he does have a lot of backing from the higher-ups, which is sad. The one bright side to this, beyond the 1,700 employees or so who were kind of rallying against his removal, and they kind of formed a coalition. They're all kind of banding together, which is great. But both the head of Xbox and PlayStation, Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer, respectively, basically sent out an internal email saying that, we're also not going to stand for this. We don't believe the statements that have come out, that they're kind of have been said in earnest or truthfully. And, I hope that this isn't just lip service for them just trying to get on the right side of the ball, and that they actually do things to try and fix the problem. And by fix the problem, I mean,
what can they really do? What can they really do?
Well, they can say, hey, we don't want to work with you anymore. We're not going to promote your games. We don't want your games on our platform would be the ultimate thing.
That's never going to happen.
I mean, I don't know.
Like Activision Blizzard.
Then it's just going to be lip service.
Call of Duty is not going to come out on PlayStation or Xbox every year.
Because what is the other platform it comes out for? PC, which is Microsoft. Mm-hmm. So if Microsoft and Sony came together and both agreed Activision has to go, then that kind of forces a wedge, and it forces Activision to get rid of Bobby Kotick and stem the bleeding or whatever it is, and attempt to fix the issue by getting somebody good in there who doesn't have a history of all this stuff and who will try and change the company from the top down, right? Because if only Microsoft does it, then it's not going to work, because Sony's going to get all the money and Microsoft's not going to let that happen. But if they both say no, right, then the only other revenue stream they have is mobile, Android and iOS. They
already make $1 billion off of.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but
I'm sorry, it's not real change like that. It's not going to happen. I get it. I get what you're saying, and that's a pipe dream, right?
Well, I mean, he's got to go.
Is going to go?
He's got to go. Bobby Kotick's got to go.
Well, they have no control over what the board of directors of Activision.
I know.
I know. So they install who. Just like for Rated G, right? The board of directors is me and you. So,
yeah, that's right. That's right. We install ourselves as the head of the company.
So it would be hard for me and you to be removed for
right. Right. Yeah, I will. Well, I sadly think you're right, because every time one of these stories comes out, nothing ever really happens, and the sad thing is, even if he does get removed, he has a golden parachute. He's going to get a ton of money.
He's going to make it like $100 million. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to get a big payout, and he'll be perfectly fine. Which is terrible. Like if all this stuff is true, I'm inclined to believe it. I haven't really heard much to the contrary, so it's tough. It's tough.
If his stuff is true, he should step down.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a rich man no matter what, and he'll fall on his feet at another company, which is sad. And we talked about it several times over the last 5 to 6 years on the show, that it's sad that you screw up in one company as CEO and you go somewhere else and you're just making as much money and being, rich as whatever. But you know what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
If the board of Activision Blizzard is looking for a new CEO, I'm right here, baby. I'll take it over.
There you go. There you go.
And you know what?
Turn that ship around. Mm-hmm.
Turn that ship around. We're going to make billions off our single-player games, baby.
That's right.
All right. Let's talk about the Xbox. Xbox Games Pass. Some people, not me, but some people say it's the best value in gaming.
It is.
And it just got
It
a
is.
little
Tell me what's
better.
Tell me what's better than Games Pass.
PlayStation Now is a little bit,
Is it better than Xbox Game Pass? No.
PlayStation Now is great. I'm sorry.
Is it better than Games Pass? That was the question. The answer is no.
No, it's not.
Games Pass is killing it.
We're not comparing.
Well, I am. I posed that question.
They're both right here. They're both right here. We're not comparing. They're both right here. They're both right here.
All right.
Elevate both.
All right. So what
Games Pass just got a little bit better because of Sony of all companies, because now not only when you have Games Pass, you have over 100 games, right? You have EA Play.
That's right.
You have all the EA games.
Get all the Bethesda games.
Get all Bethesda games.
Get Forza. Get Halo.
You get Crunchyroll Premium, the Premiere. Like, that's crazy. Which is owned by Sony, funny enough. We talked about it like maybe 2 months ago, that Sony had like a 40% stake in Crunchyroll, and now they just own it flat out, right?
They do.
So,
yeah.
Right. So this is a Sony move, like PlayStation, like when Sony and Xbox made the announcement that they're going to share like streaming technology. It was news to the Xbox team and the PlayStation team. They had no idea that the business part of Sony and the business part of Microsoft were coming together, right?
Right.
So I think this is another one of those, because PlayStation now should have Crunchyroll as part of it too.
Right. I was thinking, like, why wouldn't they enhance their own platform, right? PlayStation in this case, and we're the only place you can watch Crunchyroll, you know. And a lot of anime fans and PlayStation fans, you know, the circles are very close together, so it just makes it a better value than Xbox, which doesn't have Crunchyroll. So I'm a little bit surprised, but I think what you said makes sense. That one is the entertainment side and one is the gaming side, right? And it was, well, we want to make money for Sony so we can do the licensing deal. Xbox will pay us a ton of money because we own Crunchyroll, and they still get money in that respect. So that kind of makes sense, you know. Either way, Sony is winning. Yeah,
it's a business decision. Yeah.
Either way, Sony is winning. But
and let's end top gaming news last week with the news story of, if you love Sega and you love Sonic.
I do.
Did you ever wake up when you were a kid and said, you know what, you need to smell like Sonic the Hedgehog? Have you ever been on a date and said, you need to smell like a Yakuza character? Have you ever woke up when you were in college and said, you need to smell like the guy from Shenmue?
Dan.
But
every damn day. Every damn day.
If you did, now you can, because Sega has revealed the Sonic the Hedgehog, Yakuza, and Shenmue Colognes.
Oh. Well, there you go. My dream is fulfilled, Dan. My dream is fulfilled. Wow.
If you like lemon lime, and I like lemon lime, like, you know, salsa water, now you can smell like Sonic the Hedgehog, who apparently smells like lemon lime. because he is, it's natural that he smells like lemon lime for some citrus grapefruit lemon and lime for some weird reason.
Okay.
And you know, Shenmue smells, you know, has a big tiger on it, and I'm sure he smells like a tiger. And Yakuza, it's so weird. It's so weird that they're the fragrances that they chose for these things, and it's so weird that Sega has colognes for their characters.
Yeah, that's weird, man. That's you know, we've seen a lot of partnerships, we've seen a lot of weird merchandising. This is definitely a first. I don't think Mario has his own cologne.
Mario has his own cologne. Trust me.
You think
he does?
You think?
No, Mario,
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
It's been 30-something years. Trust me.
I don't think he does.
I'm telling you, he does. If you Google it, Mario has his own cologne. Trust me. I know he does. I, for a fact, know Mario has his own cologne. But this is the first time Sonic has his cologne.
I don't know if it's official. Ode to Plumber.
There you go.
But it's not official, though. It's not official.
That makes sense.
So that doesn't count. It's not official.
Super Mario inspired fragrances is now available at comicbook.com.
Yeah, Ode to Plumber. But it's not official. It doesn't count. That doesn't count.
That counts.
Oh, I don't think so. So are you gonna get some Sonic Cologne?
If I want it to smell like lemon lime, I'll slice a slice of lime and put it on myself.
You wouldn't want to get it just to like keep a bottle of it as like right? Because it's video game related. You don't have to use it. Because what if it goes up in value? All right.
No.
I assume this is going to be limited run.
Not the limited run company, but yes, it will be a limited run. And no. And in Japan, they were official Mario fragrances.
Wow.
For Luigi, Mario, Peach, and Bowser.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Back in 2014.
Wow. I wonder what they smell like. Hopefully it's not a sewer.
Luigi Cologne had a manly musk scent.
Of course.
That shocked no one. Peach fragrance smelled like peaches. Mario and Bowser were interesting. The fragrances. Mario's fragrance was more vanilla, and Bowser was more like a lemon.
What's with the lemons? Come on, Japan. What are you doing?
They like that. They like to have citrusy. They like to have citrusy.
I guess. Jesus, I'm not a piece of fish.
You're a piece of fish.
That's
Dave.
funny. That's funny.
You're a piece of fish. All right. That's it for the news. That's it for the news. I hope, Dave. I hope you have I hope you feel better, and I hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Yeah, you as well. It's coming up this week. Very excited. Got to eat a lot of turkey. Too much turkey.
Well, I don't know if you guys eat turkey. I mean, are you a big turkey eater?
Always.
Okay.
Dude, turkey's great, man. Slather some gravy on there. Get a nice big.
It's a little dry.
Nice big leg.
Turkey historically is a little dry. Right?
You gotta make it right.
Okay.
You gotta make it right.
So I'm having I have lots of family, so I'm doing like 2 big Thanksgivings, one on Thursday, one on Friday.
Nice. Okay.
I don't know. Are you going to go shopping by any chance? Like actually going to the stores? I know GameStop will have physical PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series X's in stock.
Thankfully, we both have Xbox Series X's and PS5s. So I never go out on Black Friday.
I was thinking about getting the all digital version. Not gonna lie.
Okay. I do all my shopping online because it's just easy. And you can do it from the comfort of your own living room with your pajamas on, open the laptop up, boom, 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 and I buy all the games that I want. I don't really deal with the doorbuster stuff and all that. Now, getting a console, if I didn't have one, that would be an interesting opportunity. Possibly, maybe I would go and brave all the crowds. But the problem is, though, you got to go like right after dinner. Because there's people who are waiting there overnight to be online to get midnight. And there's only going to be if you're lucky, like 20 consoles per store, and then they're done.
You know what I want? You know what I do want? A digital PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox Series S you can get. It's available. It's still in my cart on Best Buy. I can order it and get it.
You should order it.
But I definitely want I'm going to go to GameStop and I know no one's going to buy it, so I'm going to get it. And that's Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, the actual racing cars. It's like half off. You get it for like $50-$60, right?
Oh yeah.
And you get Mario and Luigi, right? Because you bought one. You have Mario. You paid the $100 for it. So.
I've been telling you to get it. No, it was under 100, but yeah, I was telling you to get it. I was telling you to get it for the longest. It's great, man. I don't really use it that often. I don't really use it at all.
Nor would I. No,
I don't really use it at all. But it's awesome. The first couple times I did it, I was like, "Oh, this is great," and then I'm like, "Nah, I'm just gonna put it away."
So I told you this was gonna happen, Dave. I told you didn't listen to me. You need to listen to me, Dave. I told you because we talked about Best Buy. If you're a Best Buy, if you subscribe to their subscription service.
Oh boy, not again.
Have all the
not again.
Everybody's doing it. If you're a Verizon customer, Verizon will start selling PlayStation 5 consoles. So if you are a Verizon customer, you will have first dibs at it. Walmart, if you are a Walmart Plus member, you have early access to PS5 and Xbox Series X consoles.
All right.
So yes, everybody's doing it.
At least Verizon doesn't cost you any extra. You just have to be a member of their service, which millions of customers
I'm going to subscribe and get me a phone for Verizon tomorrow, Dave.
Go ahead.
I'm going to get me a Verizon phone tomorrow.
Go ahead. Because you want a new phone, and then also maybe you can get a PlayStation 5. A digital version. A digital version, mind you. A second PlayStation 5. The Walmart thing, yeah, I mean, we talked about it offline. The Walmart thing's a little bit better because it's a month to month, and I don't think they like gank you up front. It's like $14 a month. So if you timed it right, you could technically get one for $14. If you get it and you know a drop is coming, you sign up for it obviously before the drop happens, so you're ready to go, and then boom, 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 which is much better than $200. All right? Much better than $200. And the value...
$200 worth of value.
I don't care about any of that. I just want a system. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. Oh, and by the way, we forget to keep mentioning that the Best Buy service is $200 per year. So your value ends at the end of that year. It's not not $200 in perpetuity. It's $200 for 365 days a year, for 52 weeks, for 12 months, and that's it. So if your console breaks after the 12 months, you have to spend another $200 to get the Total Tech service again, to even get them to look at it.
And you know what? They'll fix they'll fix and look at everything else that you have the technology. If you're like my uncle who isn't really into technology, but not Dave. Not Dave. Not Dave. But everybody else.
I am not saying it doesn't have value. I don't want to spend $700.
I already have AT&T, but now I'm about to be I'm going to have AT&T and Verizon just so I have.
Hey man, if you want to spend $1,000 on a new iPhone just to get a chance to get a new PS5, by all means,
Okay.
So all right, that is episode 295. It is so happy to be back. We are so happy to be back, even though I'm a little bit sick. I'm getting over that hump. We're going to have a great Thanksgiving. We want you guys to have a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully you get some good time off. You get to play some video games. You get some good Black Friday sales. So we do want to thank you guys for listening to the show, for liking, commenting, and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. You can check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.